Hi, my name is ADL Perez, and I'd like to welcome you to the third video on showing your condo co-op apartment unit. Is there such a thing as a perfect tenant? No, there isn't, but you want to get as close to it as possible. The 4 steps, of course, that I've learned in the past 20 years is the advertisement, which we went over in the first video, and the details on it, the screening of your prospective tenant over the phone in detail, the showing, which we're going to do today, and of course the final video will be the lease writer signing, and of course the application process just before the lease signing. Now, what's happening lately? Well, due to the pandemic, a lot of people are asking themselves, do I sell or do I lease? So a lot of people are selling their condo, co-op, or house and moving elsewhere to another state. Now, there's another question too. Do I convert my basement into an apartment and get a little more income? Or I'm just ready to invest and I like a 3-family, a 6-unit property, 8-unit, 12-unit property, or perhaps a mixed-use property where you have a commercial storefront and a couple of units above. If that's the case, the other question also, the use of a broker. Well, I'm a broker and I say yes, use a broker. I've always used a broker, and it's very important. As long as it's on your terms, an agreement with your terms, they'll be more than glad to show you. Now, who am I? Well, since 1998, I started as a property manager and a real estate agent. Yes. Throughout all these years, 20 years, I managed properties for Parkoff, Left Rack, Sampson Management, dealing with court cases, court actions, floods, fires, tenant complaints, you name it, I dealt with it. And during that time, in the evenings and weekends, I worked as a real estate agent, showing apartments, leasing apartments, selling condos and co-ops, and homes here in the Bronx. Now, during those years, I slowly acquired my own properties. Eventually, I acquired 3 multi-unit properties here in the Bronx and 2 condos in Florida, for which I manage them from here, at times not even seeing the tenant, because I take the 4 simple steps very seriously in acquiring the close to perfect tenant. Now, in 2008, I acquired a storefront business, and just recently, September of this year, I was forced to close due to the pandemic. So now, I'm offering my time to educate you. You're in state, showing your house, your condo, your co-op, and you're advertising it yourself, and also have a broker with your agreement and terms, so that you have both opportunities to make sure you can lease your unit. Now, here when you're showing the prospect, well then, if they're interested, ask you questions. Well, you try to reiterate some of the questions that you went over on the screening process on video number 2, right, the screening. Because perhaps they told you where they worked, but didn't say how long they worked there. Or perhaps they indicated they worked there 3 years, but didn't indicate what they did prior to that. Or maybe he or she indicated she had, or he had credit issues and didn't indicate specific details on the credit issue. So you're reiterating some of the questions to clarify anything that was missing. And of course, from your notes, you'll probably want to highlight anything you need to review if and when that person does show up and you're showing the unit. Now, if the broker comes in or the broker sends the prospect over, again, that happens, they just send the prospect. Remember that the broker is only giving you, prior to the showing, either a text or a call saying, oh, I have such and such, works in so and so, earns such and such income, the credit is such and such, and it's, the number of people is 2 or 3, whatever it is. That's all he's giving you. So at the showing, this is when you need to do the pre-qualification. I call it pre-Q, which is on video number 2. Again, pre-screening that prospect to make sure it's someone you want and you're pre-qualifying them. From there, you want to look at the conversation you're having with that prospect. Is it pleasant? Are they smiling? Is there eye contact? So you want to look at that too. Very important. From there, you'll decide if you're not satisfied, well, you tell them, well, thanks for coming. If it was the prospect that came from the broker, then you say, well, you'll have to contact broker for any other details. If you are satisfied, then you want to wait till you hear from that prospect, okay, I like the unit, the house, the condo, what do I do now? How do I apply? Then that's when you go into the explanation of the application process. If you're out of state, you're doing more or less the same thing. I'm here in New York, I have a condo in Florida, I have a friend that has the keys. So after the screening process, they want to see the unit. I talk to my friend, please provide access, but I let the friend know, or neighbor, please, if they have any questions, let them know that questions will be referred to me. You also tell the prospective that any questions, please refer them to me. The person that's going to show you the apartment is only a neighbor or friend, doesn't know all the details. This way, there's no conflict. If it's a broker that's showing, in my case, they generally have a key and they provide the access. They let me know there's such a prospect, again, like the broker with the unit here. He or she is just telling me the employment, credit, number of people, etc. That's it. So here, the broker after the showing will let me know whether that was a good prospect or it was not, or they're not interested. If they are interested, then this is where I tell the broker, please have the prospect call me or give me the number so I can contact them. Because now, remember, you didn't pre-qualify that prospect yet because they're out of state. So now they might apply for the apartment with the broker, which is fine, but now you want to talk to them before the application's turned in. So now you pre-qualify them. You give them a call, say, hi, I'm the owner, let's talk a little bit about the apartment, and that's when you're pre-qualifying them. Here, of course, more or less similar thing, you contact the friend because the friend says, yes, this prospect liked the apartment and wants to know how to apply. Well, then you communicate with the prospect, and now you pre-screen them again, have the conversation on the application process. We'll go into detail on the application process and explanation of that in a few minutes. After you do that, then you'll go into the lease signing. Now, explain the application process, whether you're on site with the prospect or you're on the phone and they're out of state. Now, you say, the application is a 3-page application which you return signed with the following documents. You attach your ID, your social security card, the last 2 pay stubs, and if you're from overseas, your passport. Plus the credit check form. The credit check form is of your choice that you have with your company. I have a company I choose, that charges a specific fee. That fee I pass on to the prospect. So now you return those documents with 1 month good faith deposit plus the credit check fee. If they're out of state, of course, you arrange that they email you the documents, and of course the originals they put in the mail. And if the fees, of course, you do it through the new technology they have, like Chase Zelle or whichever program they have to send you the fees. Once you receive the application and the fees, it'll take 1 or 2 business days to process the application. It may take longer if there's any issue with employment verification, because sometimes what happens is if it's a company they work for, it's maybe a government agency, what happens is there's a lot of red tape and sometimes it'll take longer. So generally 1 or 2 business days. Now, well, 1 of 2 things will happen once the application is processed. Either you're not approved and we refund you your good faith deposit, except the credit check fee which goes to the company, or 2, you're approved, we offer you the apartment, and now we schedule a date to sign the lease and you pay the first month's rent. So now you stay tuned for video number 4, which is the processing the application in detail and the lease signing, lease rider, which is very important. The lease rider is based on the details of your requirement to that house, unit, or condo. If you like these videos and would like more videos such as how to deal with brokers, attorneys, acquiring a good handyman / contractor, click on the subscribe button and give us your comment. Thank you.